Well, it looks like they may have just fixed it. And I'm going to tell you about that on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And making this video late at night because I got a road trip tomorrow. While you're watching this video, I'll be scrambling around getting ready for that. But I thought I would report to you guys my findings on a little experiment that I did this month on my secondary store. You know, that clearance store that I don't really get a whole lot of sales on? That one. And I think that's a good thing about having a secondary store. You know, you can maybe mess with the experiment with little things, see what works, what doesn't, without disrupting the flow of your main sales. And that's kind of, you know, really the main reason why we just don't just throw it all together into the to one store. But also I like keeping my low ASP items out of my main store, and it's really made a huge difference this year. But the reason why I'm making this video is a while back, I think back in like April or May, I think it was May. I'll put a link somewhere up here. I made a video talking about eBay's international shipping program. And while I believe, and I still believe then, I believe now, that it is well thought out, it just wasn't at the time, back in May, well implemented. And when I tried to opt in to accept this program, because eBay automatically opts you in, but you have to have your shipping policies in line to do it. Well, when I set everything up to opt in properly, my sales just tanked. And it tanked for both accounts. And we're talking on my main account, I even tried to opt in, and things were going so well up into that point. And after a few days, I pulled the plug on the main store. And after like a week, a little over a week, I decided that, you know what, it's just not working. For whatever reason, back in May, the sales just tanked for many sellers who actually made the change to move over to eBay's international shipping program. Now, of course, the benefits for me, why would you even consider doing an international shipping program? I would think that the idea that I'm shipping my item to eBay and they take over and they take care of the rest of it and it's out of my hands, that to me is the best part of it. Even like a return, nobody likes returns. Well, eBay deals with it, not you. So they work with the buyer to make whatever that is right. And as a seller, you're covered and you just move on to the next, whatever you need to do for your business. But worrying about international shipping should not be one of them. But for me, the main concern was losing sales, because for whatever reason, when eBay first implemented this, not just me, but other sellers were finding that their sales just tanked. And I said, you know what? Not going to happen. I'm going to turn the sales back on by opting out of the international shipping program. And what do you know? My sales came back in both accounts. Now, my secondary account has never been anything to kind of brag about. And I get such slow sales anyway on that account for a number of reasons. So there's not a whole lot of data to work with. But still, this last, say, week and a half, I went in and said, you know what, sales are slow. I'm just going to go in and opt in, change my business policies or my shipping policies to allow the opt-in to take effect. So you go in and simply make sure you're not doing your own international shipping policies. Okay, you say no international on all of your current shipping policies. And then I just went in and hit the opt-in button, and as you can see here, I think it happened sort of the middle part of this graph is when I made the change. I was making sales here and there, but look at it since. Last 31 days up 39.7%. I mean, this isn't the best sales you're going to see today from any one store, but you can see that I've got an improvement in sales. Now, I have been listing more on this account. We have some smaller, you know, lower ASP items that are just hanging around. So we've been listing those to get them out of here on the secondary account. So I think part of it is the additional activity that I've been giving eBay, but what are you seeing here? On this chart, you're not seeing a decline in sales, by being opt-in, my biggest fear, and eBay was showing me earlier back in May, that I was getting a decline in sales from what I was used to doing. So if this chart would have showed me next to nothing because I was doing a little bit here, a little bit there, and then if it just stopped altogether, that would have confirmed to me that it's still kind of the same old, same old. But I opted in, and guess what? My sales didn't die. They're better than before on this particular account. So based on this experiment, I would think that it's probably been fixed. eBay has fixed the problem that, for whatever the reason, caused some sellers to have slow sales when they opted into eBay's international shipping program. And I just don't know why or how that happened, but I wasn't willing to take a chance to find out. Allow myself to stay opted in and just wait and have dead sales. You know, I was finding myself, okay, we're in May, things are going good for my main account. I'm not trying to kill the momentum, and I wanted to have good momentum going into the summer, and that's kind of what I did. I protected my sales from being affected any further by opting out. And I always voice that, you know, once I can confirm that, you know, this has been fixed, then I would be glad to opt back in. So I have opted back in on my secondary account where I have, you know, items that are 1, 2, 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds. And that's kind of ideal for the eBay international shipping program, because your buyer overseas is already getting gouged for the price of shipping from eBay. And the larger that item, like on my main account, I have large items mostly. It's already expensive domestically to ship these items. I can't imagine what eBay is charging for a 10, 15, 20, 30 pound box to be shipped across the world. I don't think these items in my main account would be appealing to people for that reason, unless they absolutely had to have whatever I'm selling. But I'm willing to bet that it's just not worth even messing with. But I may just go in and switch it over anyway on the main account. But I'm not going to do that this year. I'm going to get through Q4 with my main account, and I will then in January just switch it over, see what happens to these items. If I notice a decline, because usually January is a continuation of December as far as sales, at least for what I've sold historically. Now, I made a change back in February, so it may be different this year, but historically, I get pretty good sales in January. So if I notice a huge drop off as compared to December, then I'm gonna opt out on the main account. But for the secondary account, which I'm changing over anyway, I'm going to try to get rid of a lot of this crap in that secondary store and make it more of a niche store, like a sporting goods type of store. Anything related to sports, I'm going to be putting in that store. I'm expecting a better performance for that reason, because it's going to be more of a focused store than I have in the last couple of years with it, because it's really just been a clearance aisle, and I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with that type of an operation, just if I'm being totally honest with you. So for those of you guys out there who opted out and are opted out of the international shipping program, I can only give you my data. Here it is. The data shows that, at least for me, on this account, it looks like it's been fixed and it's not hurting my sales. So just something that you may want to consider looking into if you have items that are not heavy and could be appealing to other people around the world. So that's my 2 cents here. Hopefully you guys have an excellent holiday, Thanksgiving. Spend time with family. And I may have another video that drops mysteriously out of thin air between now and our live on Monday, because there's no live on Friday. But if I don't see you between now and then, we'll see you on Monday, and have an excellent Thanksgiving, and enjoy your holiday, everyone. Take care.